Hello, and welcome to How to Fill Out a New Hire Schedule, Summer Edition. So, my name is Sydney Terrell, and I am a rising junior studying elementary education, and I have been a central hiring manager for over a year now, as well as having trained a majority of the staff currently working in our office. If you are looking up how to fill out a new hire schedule, that means you are one of the specific folk that work in either central hiring or another hiring division of the Student Life Department at Purdue University. Just a quick story about why I'm making this video. I have been here, like I said, for over a year. And yet, when I left for a week and a half to go on summer vacation, I came back and I did my first interview, hired a candidate, everything went great. But then I was looking at the schedule and experienced this sort of summer panic. I had a cold sweat. I was confused. I was double checking myself. And it made me realize that sometimes we leave for the summer and then we come back and we just need a refresher over how things are done. So this video will be that for you, hopefully. Our goal for this video is to learn how to do a completed schedule for the summer. So on the left, you have a blank schedule, and then obviously on the right is what a completed schedule will look like before it is filed. Our prerequisites are going to be a computer to access the information about the candidate you've hired, a sheet of paper, or a blank summer template, whichever one you have access to, you'll be able to fill either one out. And then you will need a whole host of pens, so a black, blue, red, and purple pen. All of these things will enable you to successfully complete a new hire schedule. Moving on to our first step. So you will use that computer to access the candidate information that you will have recorded during the interview. Pardon me. Additionally, you're going to want to use that black pen and write down the candidate's name on the schedule. So you'll write it twice, as you can see. That way it's very easy to read for anyone that needs to find it, depending on how it's sorted in the filing cabinet. Moving on to step 2, we're going to use that black pen and we're going to fill out the questions on the top right section of that sheet of paper. So the first one is operation. For our trusty friend SpongeBob here, I've put the Krusty Krab. For offer, it should be verbal unless it was an online exception. Paperwork date should always be the same as the day of the interview. Business office or BO time normally occurs the following Monday or Tuesday, depending on the availability of the candidate. And then the NEO or new employee orientation generally happens 72 hours or more after that business office appointment. The return date can be ignored since this is the summer session. Obviously, if students are working over the summer, we aren't asking them when they're returning for the fall because they are already employed. The first thing that we're going to talk about to avoid, or the first two things I should say, is you really want to avoid leaving anything unfilled on that top right section of the schedule. If you leave it unfilled now, you're going to have to go find that information later because the schedule has to be completely filled out before it's filed, so you're not saving yourself any time. Additionally, you don't want to write in pencil because pencil has a tendency to smear when it's stacked up with a bunch of other papers. So that's a problem that we have addressed in the past. Moving on to the next step, we're going to start using some of those more colorful pens. So we're going to grab that blue pen, and then you're going to write the business office or BO done day and month, with the day being over the month shown in the format on the screen. And the blue pen is what we use to signify this, just because that's the color that our boss chose. The next step is going to be to write the completed bright space day and month underneath where the business office day and month is, and that's going to be with the red pin. So with the red pin, you'll just write BS done for Brightspace done, and then once again, the day over the month following the same format. Moving on, we are going to write the candidate's NEO or new employee orientation date, day and month with done, and that's going to be under the Brightspace done or the BS done, and this is going to be in purple pen. So it goes blue, red, purple. Now, the reason that we do color code is because our boss is familiar with a 2019 study that was actually conducted by Post-its, and it showed that 82% of the participants that were students had better retention and were able to find certain types of information in their notes faster if it was organized by color. So that just helps support, which brings us to the next thing to avoid is using the wrong colors. Color coding is very important in our office. It's been done like this ever since our boss founded our office. And then she loves to bring up that Post-it study to remind us that it does matter. And so if you do it wrong, you're going to have to redo it in the correct colors. Step 6, and this is the final step, is to file the schedule alphabetically by last name in the correct black bin. And then that red oval looking thing shows you where the done bins are. And then on the left-hand side, it shows you how they're organized alphabetically. We organize alphabetically by last name because a 2020 research article written by Deirdre Mask of the New York Times concluded that in a study where 3 offices were organized by color coding alphabetically and then client-related folders, the study found that the alphabetically organized office had a 30% less issues related to locating paperwork. So especially in our department where we fill out papers for every single person we interview, obviously we have a lot of papers. So this really helps us stay organized. That is actually our final thing to avoid, is not filing in alphabetical order by last name. It might be tempting to put it by first name. That's a common mistake, but we do file by last name with that research that was supported by the research done by the New York Times. This is the final product we look for. So this is a completely filled out central hiring, new hire schedule for the summer. Now, at the top right, I just would like to take a moment to address. As you can see, they are very specific dates. So for paperwork, it says same day as interview. For BO time, following Monday, Tuesday. NEO time, 72 hours or more. This is because in 2020, the Department of Student Life at Purdue conducted research that showed candidates that moved through the hiring process within 2 weeks cost on average about $300 from the university to get them through that hiring process. However, after 14 days or 2 weeks, there is a daily cost associated with each of those candidates for every day that they're stuck in the hiring process. So that is why we like to make sure that those dates are followed. And so this is how you will correctly fill out that schedule. So names, how to fill out the top right part, how to color code, and then once again, that we file in alphabetical order by last name. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this video really helps. And of course, these are the references I used. I couldn't find an actual study done by ITAP on like a website. So I have my boss, MJ Zeiser, listed there. She's the one that told me about that study. But thank you so much.